Yeah, I think if we think about purpose in the way that we think about happiness, it's about thinking, well, what are the things that make me happy and chasing that. And I think if you chase that, you'll find your purpose. Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of Self-Discovery in Good Company. Hi, Stace.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm saying like episode 10, we're going to have to stop soon because it's like when kids get to 18 months, that's your cutoff. That's your cutoff. I hate, how old are they? Someone once said to me, 25 months. And I was sat there like racking my brains, like 25 months. So they're 2 years and a month.
So they're two.
Yeah. They're two.
No.
So they're two.
Okay, I stopped that after one. I'm like, no, you don't even get 18 months. They're like, no.
I'm like, just turned 18 months, or they're two in September.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's
None of this rubbish. They're 48 months. Like, they're four.
No. Quick maths. Well done. Not bad
Was it
for 9 o'clock.
Did I get that right? I'm not sure I did, but we'll just gloss over it.
We'll gloss over it. How was your week?
Oh, fine, Stace. Any parent of primary school children listening will know that it was midterm this week. So I have just had, this house has just been utter chaos. I've had play dates in, I've had, you name it, it's been here. And it's just had nothing but I'm bored, I'm hungry. You don't eat when you're at school till lunchtime. How can you be hungry in this house? It's just constant. It's constant. So today I was like, yep, see you later. Bye. I'm ready for you to be back at school. Off you pop, love. And that was that. So so I really haven't done an awful lot. I dragged them all to Matalan one day, and that's as exciting as their midterm got.
But you know how to treat them. I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you saying, I'm hungry. Had that from Harper tonight, just when the girl has ate so much today. I mean, in the middle of the day, she had 3 bowls of cereal and she's had all of her meals as well. So I literally was like, you can have a wrap. So I went downstairs and read her our bedtime story, and she ate a dry wrap, but she absolutely loves them.
A dry wrap. Oh my God. Honestly, it's just, I don't know what I'm going to do when these boys are the same age.
Oh my God, imagine all the food.
I'm going to have to shop in bulk, because honestly,
Costco.
The amount of food I go through with Sadie.
Imagine when they're all when they're teenagers.
I know. Honestly, I know. It's
never thought about them as teenagers.
Oh, it's going to be insane. And they're boys as well, so they're going to eat loads, I bet. But Sadie, for a girl, my God, she eats like a horse.
I
am not joking. She's always hungry and she's always eating. And then when she has all her mates round, they just eat me out of house and home. I'm like, guys, this is not a youth club. You don't just go in.
You could turn it into one. You can make a little bit of money here.
Oh,
that's your back to work plan.
Bring your own snacks to my youth home, because I cannot be feeding all of these kids.
I pick Harper up from nursery, and it is literally okay. So Harper's food, the clipboard. She had it was macaroni cheese for lunch. Harper had 3 portions. It was spaghetti and bolognese for dinner. Harper had 2 portions, and she ate the garlic bread off of Fergus's plate. I'm like, getting my money out of that £77 a day. Good girl.
Oh my God, 100%. You've got her well trained. Get all your meals there.
Well, she doesn't get her tea anymore. But do you know what annoys me? They don't give her tea, right? But they'll give her so she had beetroot and garlic bread for a snack at night. I'm like, just bung in some pasta and make it a tea, and save me a job.
Beetroot and a garlic bread. I'm like, no, you're all right, love.
It's weird stuff like that.
That sounds like anything they've got left over.
Exactly.
Let's make a garlic bread out of this.
It's not
beetroot. The kids won't know.
It's not the levels of the thing's the beetroot, right? Just go back. the beetroot's really messy. I don't really give her beetroot because I have a very cream
No.
house. So I'm a
Oh
bit
God,
scared
yeah.
of the beetroot. I'm a bit
I would not
scared.
be having beetroot in your house.
She gets beetroot at my mum's. But yeah, the beetroot. But I tell you what, they're not at the heights of your tuck shop. That's for sure.
Oh my God, these kids just get fed cookies and like palm bears. Like that's
Well, we're coming
no.
to your house tomorrow afternoon, actually. So I'll tell
Well,
Harper
honestly, there's
not to worry.
nothing healthy. There'll be nothing healthy snack wise. I'm just like, I can't even keep. I'm like, yeah, I'm that mum that goes, yeah, just go on. Fine, help yourself, whatever. But so if you send your kids to my house, they're not going to have healthy snacks. They're just going to eat whatever sugar is in the cupboard because I don't have the energy to stop them. So
I love that. So this week I had a Galentine's afternoon at one of my best school friends' house, which was, oh my God, it was so cute. And it was so nice because it was like my friends and our kids, and she went to so much effort. There was like heart bunting, everything was heart shaped, chicken nuggets shaped as hearts. Like,
Aldi had
is
those
that where
as
they were
well.
from?
Yeah, had them this week. That was my little love
Do you know what's really good from Aldi? And this is my friend Lauren. So I was at hers for that, and then it was her little boy's first birthday a couple of weeks before. Their beef crisps. Oh my God, they're so good.
Oh, honest. Just
After we all left the party, we're messaging. We're like, this is really, really highbrow content here. We're getting on to something a bit more enlightening. But yeah, we all messaged afterwards. We're like, Lauren, where was the crisps from? She's like, Aldi. Brilliant.
Oh, gotcha. Love
But yeah,
that.
it was really, really cute. And yeah, it was just nice. So nice. One of those moments, you know, when you like see all your friends, kids playing and stuff. And fighting and scrapping and arguing over
Yeah.
who's sitting on the car thing and stuff. But it was really lovely.
Oh, good. That sounds nice.
Feeling all the love this week.
Oh, good.
So today we are going to talk about purpose because I have had quite a lot of coaching conversations recently with people. And really some people actually come to coaching because they're like, I don't actually feel like I know what my purpose is, and I feel a little bit lost.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought that would be quite a good topic to kick about today and put some coaching tips in terms of like some of the things that I've been working with my clients on.
Love that. That's a really good one, Stacey. But I can imagine pretty wide topic.
It's a really wide topic. What do you take from it if we think about purpose? Or your purpose, or
that coaching question right at me, right between the eyes. Purpose really resonates with me right now because, as I'm sure anyone that has had children, been on maternity leave of some kind, it's your purpose is kind of goes out the window. It's put into question a little bit. You spend a year of your life all of a sudden just becoming this parent, and that is what your job is. Like, you know, it's your life is scheduled around naps, around lunches, around washing up dishes, around giving bottles, you know, and it's so easy to lose yourself in that because it's so routine. And I probably am struggling a little bit with that right now because I think to myself, right, okay, so right now, I guess my purpose is just, you know, raising these babies to a point. Like, you know, Sadie is different because obviously she's just turned 8. She's older. She can kind of, if not look after herself. I don't mean that she like looks after herself, but you know, she's self-sufficient. She can do things.
She can feed herself in the tuck shop.
Exactly.
She can make a gourmet meal from that.
So she can kind of do that. The boys are very reliant on me still, and they're reliant on you till I don't know what 3, 4, like they're before they can actually start, like, you know, really kind of doing things for themselves and that. So I suppose I'm right in the thick of it right now. That like, is this my purpose? Is this all I'm doing? And I don't mean all as in all, because I am doing it all, and it's a lot. But you know, as somebody who's like, I love I love trying different things. I love trying new things. I love having hobbies. I love different aspects of work and that. And right now, I don't really have any of that. I'm right just in this bubble of being a mum.
Yeah.
And it kind of jars with me a little bit because as much as I love it, I am a little bit like, okay, but like what else?
Yeah.
There's got to be something else that I can be doing here that's bringing some fulfillment. That makes it sound like I'm not fulfilled by my kids. I am, of course, fulfilled by my kids. But I think there is absolutely more to life than having children. There's so much you can get fulfillment from. And so I think I'm kind of lost right now while I'm still waiting to hear about plans for returning to work. The boys are nearly 1. I'm in this weird sort of limbo land when it comes to my purpose. I'm like, do I stay in the same lane that I've been in these past few years? Do I do something different? What? It's all very, very confusing. And I think all parents who have, had kids and then returned to work would agree that right before you return to work, there is this whole little bit of an existential crisis. They're not newborns, so you haven't got the whole year. You're nearly at the end of it, and you're just not quite sure. You're just not quite sure what you're meant to be doing or how it's going to work. And it's scary as well, it is scary. So that's kind of where I am. So if you could coach me on how to find my purpose and feel fulfilled, that would be amazing.
No worries. No, I think there's a few things that I was just thinking about when you were speaking there. Like the people that I'm coaching, or a lot of people that are coming to me with this, or I'm having conversations, or even you here. It's like, I think people question their purpose when they go through a transition period, and it could be like having a baby and trying to return to work and being like, okay, what does this look like? Because I've been speaking quite a lot of people about that, or even like the loss of a relationship. That's another one. So it's almost like when you're like attached to something and it changes, or it's part of your identity and it changes, that then I think leads people to question their purpose sometimes.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And I also think as well, like you're so right. Like you are a mum, but you're Stacey, you're, the most amazing makeup artist who all my friends are super delighted that you're doing makeup again, or getting you booked.
Well, again, this is me being like, what am I doing? What is my purpose?
Yeah.
So going back to old habits. Yes,
to make us all glow.
Purpose.
To make us all glow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, but it's a part of you.
Yeah.
The same as, and you're a wife, and you're a sister, and you're a best friend, and you're a marketing professional. Like you're, spiritual, like you're all these things.
I know.
You're not just a mom. And I'm coaching some people just now who came out of relationships, and that they were just like, they're like, I don't even know what I liked. I don't even know what I like to do in my spare time. Do you know what I mean? And I can resonate with that. It's almost like I always keep thinking about, did you ever watch Runaway Bride?
Yeah. Many moons ago.
I know. We're going back here. Nostalgia. I thought you'd like a bit of nostalgia.
I flipping love nostalgia.
I think it's 90s. I think it's 90s, so you'll be loving it. But
I'd have to Google it, but it could be early noughties. But it's to be debated. It's to be debated.
But do you remember the part about how did she take her eggs? Do you remember that bit?
No.
So she had all these.
Long time.
It's not brilliant. I mean, Julia Roberts has been in better films, in my opinion. But she had all these fiancés that she jilted at the altar, or she didn't go through with the marriage, whatever it was. And each of them, they would have like breakfast, brunch, and she would always have her eggs in a different way. So they would be like, when the guy was Richard Gere, remember, he was like the guy writing the story about her, and he went round and met all of her ex-fiancés, and obviously then she fell in love with him. But he would be like, how did she take her eggs? And be like, sunny side up. How did she take her eggs poached? How did she take her eggs boiled? Because she just did whatever that person did. So like
Mhm.
it always makes you think of that, which is a total side note. But I think it's like it's so important when you're in a relationship to work out who you are as well.
Yeah,
Because
it's
if
like,
not, you just morph into that, then that's not, if that
yeah.
goes in a direction that you wouldn't have anticipated, you lose sense you lose a sense of your purpose there as well.
Yeah, it almost does just become your personality. And like that's
Yeah. But yeah, so there's lots of other things as well. I think like sometimes I've been speaking to people about, the pressures that social media has
oh God, yeah.
on all of this.
We were speaking about that last week as well. Got on my soapbox about
The
social media.
influencers and things.
Definitely, but it is like I don't think people quite realize how under its spell we are. Like
Hmm.
we are. That's where a lot of that purpose, that pressure comes from.
Definitely. And you're looking at people who are like, really super successful jobs, working for brands that have this massive, ethical cause, or they're huge on sustainability, and you're sitting working, like a lot of our listeners would be in like an oil company, let's say,
Yeah.
in Aberdeen, that are like, whatever, that's not super sustainable, that's not,
No.
that and you're looking at it thinking like what, and a lot of people, I've had conversations with loads of people like in their 30s, which is where we are, Stace.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
they're like, I feel like I need to be giving more from a work perspective
I
as well.
totally feel that. I totally feel that.
How do
Whenever
you
I
mean?
speak to,
Like, do
oh,
you?
honest, it's whenever I speak to a nurse or
Oh, don't.
always a nurse. It's always a nurse. I am in awe of them. I'm absolutely in awe of them. Caterers, anyone doing work.
Teachers, my cousin,
Teach,
who's like the most
honestly,
beautiful person, is a
anyone
teacher. And
who
I'm like, your job so matters. My job doesn't matter.
that's
Doesn't
it.
matter.
That's it. Like my job, I mean, what difference is it making to like young lives, to people's health? Nothing. Like, and I struggle with that a little bit. And I think I really should be doing something that's helping more people rather than, making money for an organization. Because that's essentially what you are when you're working in a big company, and that it's yeah,
I, I
I do
think
struggle with that.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And if the coaching bit on that, I would say, is if someone's going through that, it's like, I think it's how you frame it. So like you work for an educational institution.
Mhm.
So you're helping people find that that educational institution, or
Yeah.
fund that to allow them to be nurses,
Yeah.
or to,
No, that's
you know
true.
what I mean? But I totally hear what you're saying. And like, I remember like, really getting myself when I was early in my career worked up about something that I'd done. And I remember one of my bosses being like, we're not dealing with life or death here.
Yeah.
And it's so true. And you get so like lost in it. And you think about people who, are in highly stressful environments
Oh
and jobs
yeah.
where it is life or death.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
and you do think like they're super contributing to society. Like you could
That's
tedious link me to say, oh, I work, for an oil company or oil services company. Therefore, we help provide energy that lights up the hospital. But you're a bit like,
yeah.
okay,
It's
yeah,
a link,
tedious
but
link there. But I
it's a
do,
link,
I
it's a
do
push,
think
but
exactly. We can't all. I'd be a terrible nurse. Oh my gosh, I would be a horrendous nurse. Um.
oh, I'd come home crying
Oh,
every night. My mom, I had once upon a time when I was 17 thought I would maybe go into nursing. My mom was like, Stacey, you'll just cry every day. And that's why I didn't do it. And I think, God, but I would actually be a really caring nurse.
you
And
would.
I
You'd be
said,
really good. You could
and
do midwifery.
oh, I don't know if I want to look at other people's bits, but I don't know if that's me. But like I have that bedside manner, I would say,
Me
which I
too.
sometimes feel like nurses, some lack. But yeah, I would come home crying every day, and I'd want to take people home with me, and yeah, it would be an
I
emotional
think you've
bit.
got enough.
I
I
think
think you've
I've
got
got
enough people in
enough.
your home.
We can't all fit in it. Like we can't have anyone else.
Because not enough in that snack cupboard. But yeah, like I think it's about framing it and being like, do you know what? Like, how can finding purpose at work? It's like, how can you do something so that you enjoy? Because and how can you bring your best self to that? And what's the energy? How do you want people to feel in your company? How do you want people to feel like when they're working with you? I think that's a really good way of trying to get purpose from a work perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than saying, oh, I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to go and become a doctor and things. Because if we're being realistic, a lot of people won't financially have that luxury when they're past
or
ever.
Or the brains. Or the brains.
You would have the brains. No, I'm not having that.
Doctor. Oh my God.
But like, even like from I don't know if you ever watched any of that Adam or read Adam Kay's book or did you ever
Oh my goodness. Yes. I love This Is Going to Hurt. Yeah.
This Is Going to Hurt. Such a good book.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And I went to see him in Edinburgh. He was at the Fringe, and I went to see him at the Fringe last year. He was amazing. Me and my friends were in the back row howling our eyes out because he's got it. If no one's read it before, it's such a good book, isn't it? Because one minute you're like killing yourself laughing because someone stuck something up their bum and they've had to go to A&E, which apparently happens all the time.
Oh, I honestly, I don't know personally, but
we would like to clear that up. That was not us. That was
no, that wasn't us. No, that was in the book.
And then the next minute you're like crying because an elderly patient passed away without anyone next to whatever. It's so
I know.
Right so well. But he speaks about how hard it is to actually be a junior doctor and more, I think it was more in his show, and about how many of them actually commit suicide and things because it's such a strain on them, and the hours that they're made to work and the rubbish money that they get when they're kind of going through their training. But even like to be able to fund that, it's like socioeconomic. It's like you think about some people who grow up actually won't have the money to be able to go to university. So like you're a certain part of like the population because of their circumstances. Like I was speaking to somebody today and they were saying at 16, I had to leave home and I had to make money because I had to make money. I was speaking to two people actually, had to make money for my family.
Wow.
And like, so like, then it's hard to then say, right, someone goes into that like, oh, well, I should have been a doctor and I should have been a this and I should have been that. Sometimes circumstances that you found yourself in have led you into the job that you're in. So be kind to yourself with that. But I would say like, it's about the energy that you bring and how you can be the best version of yourself and make a difference in the sphere that you have.
Oh, that's a lovely way to look at it.
So like, providing development opportunities for people coming into the team and helping to train them up, or, dealing with a client and trying to bring energy to that and different ideas and, just it's all about your energy, which we speak about all the time, but it so is. It's not necessarily that you have to make these massive changes, because actually life means sometimes that it's really, really difficult to do that. Some people can, brilliant. Not a lot of people can. But it's about thinking about what can you control and how can you bring more purpose to that and intention to it, which is like a word I love with it as well.
Oh, Stace, that's a lovely way to look at it. I think everyone's going to find that bit really helpful. So,
that's nice.
Great. That's 10 coaching points for you on that.
Thanks. But yeah, and then the other thing that I've been speaking to people about is connections. Because what I think we're in an environment now is that a lot of us are working from home. We're not going out as much. People aren't connecting as much.
No, they're not.
The biggest killer in elderly people is loneliness.
I know.
Is what they say.
It's my heart.
Dawn, I cannot cope. I actually saw this girl on my Instagram said that she was out walking and she saw this man and he asked her if she could help him use his phone. And she was like, yeah, of course. And she helped him to take a picture or something. And he said, oh, my wife got me it so that I could take pictures and show her or something. But his wife had passed away. And he said that she was the first person he'd spoke to in like 6 weeks or something. Like,
My God,
oh,
Stacey, you can't be
and
telling me stuff like that.
that, honestly, I was crying when I saw just a story. It wasn't even happening to me. Imagine that poor man. If he, thank God he didn't ask me, I'd have been like,
Oh,
making it about
God.
myself.
He would have been
But
home living with me and my family. That's exactly what would have happened.
oh, Gav's hearing snippets of this. He's like, how many people is moving into our house here? But yeah, no, like social connection. So that's obviously an extreme example. But I was coaching someone else and they live alone and they come into the office once a week. And it's like, well, how are you getting that social connection? And yes, you can do it online, but there's nothing that beats just sitting down and looking someone in the eyes and having a cup of tea with somebody or that. So I think it's really thinking about like your social connections and how they have an impact on you. Because I think that can really feed into your purpose as well.
Oh, definitely.
Because I think if people are, like if you don't have that and if you don't have like, friends around you or things that you're doing and things like that, it's always about like, I saw something on Instagram today and it was like, things don't create happiness, action does. And I think that's so true. So it's almost like if you're looking for purpose, it's like, well, what are some of the actions I can take to create that purpose? So, it's maybe pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and joining like a club to get that social connection. Or it's maybe thinking about, okay, what can I do more from a career perspective to find myself with a bit more purpose? Or in, the relationships that I already have or whatever. But I think a lot of it's about looking at yourself really and thinking, well, what is the life that I want to create? And what does success look like for me? Because I think success looks different for everyone at different stages. So somebody who's, you're going back to work, success is going to look like for you quite different to when it did when you first graduated.
100%.
You know what I mean? And you were like, I want to make more money because I want to get a deposit for a house, or I can throw myself into work. Whereas someone that's, at a different stage is like, success for me is coming in, doing my 9 to 5, doing a good job, leaving at the end of the day, not having to think about work.
Yes.
And being the best mum that I can be. And at the Personal Growth Collective, we are all about, you can have both. You can have the career and you can have the work life. And you have to know you're going to feel like you're going to suck at different points in those different areas, but you can have it all. And I'm putting that in inverted commas because you can and you can't, is what I would say. And because you only are one person, you're 100%, you can only give 100% in both areas. But really thinking about, well, what does success look like for me? So when I came back after maternity leave, success for me was getting into a routine and being the best mum that I can be. Now Harper's a bit older, I'm more settled in my house. I'm running this house myself. Therefore, like, I have more control over things and I'm just feeling more comfortable with it. I'm looking to do more with the Personal Growth Collective because I feel like I can get that stretch now and I want to grow the business. So that looked totally different for me 2 years ago. So I think when you're thinking about purpose, it's very context dependent. And I think we put too much pressure on ourselves thinking, okay, like I've got 2 young children and I don't get a minute to myself and I don't feel like I've got a purpose. Well, actually, maybe your purpose for the next 2 years is to be the best mum that you can be.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And that changes, that ebbs, that flows. And it's, well, what does success look like? Because success isn't necessarily the big job, loads of money, nice house. No. Success is the things that bring you joy. So what brings you joy is what I often ask people when they're kind of saying that they're feeling a bit lost. I'll say to them like, okay, go and think about what gives you joy. And I want you to do something each day that's an action that brings you joy. So that's maybe going for a walk outside or phoning up a friend and having a conversation with them or going to an exercise class or whatever. Yeah. Because I think joy and purpose are really closely aligned.
Yes. Stace, you are on fire. So good. The content is amazing. Yes.
And I would say as well, that can feel super overwhelming because there's this kind of paradox of choice, which I don't know if like you've heard of it. Basically, nowadays, there's so much for us to choose from that we've never, ever been less sure about the choices that we're making.
Yes, because there is so much choice. You just think, oh my God, there's so much to choose from. I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Because there's so much.
Yeah. Even on like dating apps, if you think about it like that, there's hundreds of people.
I've never
Is there
used
that much
one.
choice?
I don't know. I had a swipe through yours at times, and I was thinking, this is slim pickings here.
But there's this paradox that there's lots of people there. I mean, I'm not, categorizing the choices, like, and some of them actually, that's probably a good job that if you're looking to get a bit more purpose, you could help people with their dating profiles because
I'll write them for you.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there is this kind of like paradox of choice. So if you think about it, you're like, okay, like before, okay, I'm single. How am I going to find someone? I'm going to go to a bar, or I'm going to be sat up by friends, or I'm going to meet someone at work, whatever that is. Nowadays, you're like, oh, there's literally thousands of people that I could look through and just swipe. And they look okay, but I might find someone better. Oh, they look okay.
Deal with that. Couldn't deal with that. I'd get bored after looking at 10 of them.
Well, like, the same ones do come up.
Oh,
I'm just getting like flashbacks to dating apps. I think. But they're a really good way to meet people, I will say, because like you're very clear on like, I'm saying that I think there's horror stories, which I didn't have to experience, thankfully, about people who are not single, who are on dating apps. But anyway, it's the best way to be able to meet people without leaving your house. It's back to that social connections thing that we don't have as much anymore. But we do have this thing where, will I find someone better? Oh, I'll just keep looking. Will I find someone better?
Oh my gosh,
you might,
really?
you might not. And it's almost that like throwaway culture of like relationships and people and things, and
all disposable.
It's all disposable. So I think you find that makes it even harder for you to find purpose within that.
Yeah. Because you could try anything. If we're forgetting about the dating apps for a minute, you could literally
forget about the dating apps for a while.
You could literally try anything. You could try something like, being like, I don't know, circus act for like a week, and you'd be like, nah, I don't know, I think I'm gonna toss that one in the bin. It's not for me. Then you could go try something else. I feel like there is just so much choice that it's like it's so overwhelming.
I think you're so onto something there, because and then you'll see, oh, someone's doing this. Maybe they look happy.
Maybe that's what I meant to do.
That's what I meant to do. That makes them look happy. You've got no idea if they're happy. There's pictures of me and I look so happy and I'm miserable. Like you just you don't know what's going on for somebody, but social media and all of that and comparison, you're comparing yourself to other people. You're like, they look happy. I want some of what they have, because purpose is probably you trying to find happiness, really, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. I think you're right with that.
Purpose is linked to happiness. So you're going to try all these things and do all these things because you think, oh, that's maybe the thing that's the thing I'm missing. That's and actually I'm with someone and they're quite nice, but actually, God, I'm going back to dating again, but you're with someone, they're quite nice. Obviously traumatized. But you're like, actually, like maybe I need a little bit, maybe this is better. The grass is always greener. But what we know is the grass is greenest when you water it.
Oh, it's one of my favorite sayings. It's one of my favorite sayings. Yeah.
One of mine
Love
too.
it. But I think like
on you go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I think like the overwhelm then also kind of goes hand in hand with this idea of failure, and there's the fear of that. Do you know, like if you're making like a choice, if you're like, okay, well, I've decided this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, but then you think, oh shit, no, what if I fail at that? What if I'm not any good at it?
Yeah. and you're asked to pick what you're going to do for the rest of your life, doing inverted commas.
17.
Well, it's even before that kind of, isn't it? Because it's like, if you didn't do maths and science and do well in them from being younger, you couldn't go on to be an engineer or a doctor and things. So like,
that's why I wasn't a doctor, Stace.
It's such a shame that choices that you made when you were 14
at Bankhead Academy. I know, but that's like the thing. It's
I think if we think about purpose in the way that we think about happiness, it's about thinking, well, what are the things that make me happy and chasing that. And I think if you chase that, you'll find your purpose.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. You should get that tattooed on your body, honestly. That was so beautiful.
I honestly think that, because I had a friend who was like, I don't know what my purpose is. And I was like, well, I think if you just do the things that bring you joy and just gravitate towards them, then your purpose is going to come to you. But it's about your energy, and it's about, I feel like we're bleating on about your energy, but it's so important that, like, if you have this high vibe energy and doing things that make you happy, you're taking action, because no one is going to come and give you your purpose. No one.
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually take the action yourself. And I think if you have your purpose too attached to a person, it's a real big risk for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And even I mean that from a child's perspective, like, as in, you can't just have your purpose being, I'm a mum. What are you doing for yourself to fill your own cup? Because you will be a better mum if you have the other things as well, which we've spoke about before.
Love that. Stace, that's been a really, really useful conversation.
Hopefully.
Honestly. It's a Thursday night and you're on fire. Do you ever stop?
Yes.
Always in coach mode, and I flipping love it.
I've coached a lot of I think I must be quite annoying. I just like slip into it all the time.
I love it.
But
coach mode.
I go straight into coach mode. Yeah, definitely.
I love that.
Apart from with Harper, I need to. But you know what? Like, if you think about it, it's like, I always, and do you know what? If you're really struggling with someone, one of the best coaching questions I give people is, if that was your daughter, son, best friend, whoever, what would you tell them to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good one.
So I'll just throw that in as a kind of like, that's a really powerful coaching question that you could ask
that's
yourself.
Like a little tidbit for you to throw into a conversation.
If someone said to me, I would tell them to like shut up and just do it, sort of thing. So I think that can be a good one.
Shut up and do it.
Shut up and just do it. Get over yourself and just do it. That's what people always say. Or like, wise up or whatever, just do it.
So maybe you should use that phrase a little more in coaching. Wise up.
I'll use it for you.
Yeah, you can. You have permission to use it on me.
Or if you're doubting yourself, another one, God, we're going off here, but if you're doubting yourself, another one that I always use is, okay, and I've used this for you before, and how much evidence do you have to support that belief?
Yes, you've thrown that in my face many a time.
Most of the time it's none.
How much evidence do you have? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I haven't compiled it.
But I just think it. I know it's not true, but yeah. Well, hopefully people find that. And you know what as well? I think a lot of people feel this. I would say, like, rounding up
I would totally think so.
I think most people do. Most people don't have it together in all elements, because you're maybe killing it in your career, but you don't have a relationship that you're, that's the bit for you that you would love to have, or the family bit's great, but you don't have the career. Very rarely you have success in all areas. And I think the more that we're comfortable with that, the better, because actually focus on the things that are really important to you at that time, and the other things will come.
Oh, lean in. That's one of my favorites. Lean in to where you are in the moment and just go with it. That's it.
Yes. I love it.
Oh, I love it, Stacey. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for an incredible
coaching session. That's amazing.
And yeah, I am going to stop coaching now and I'm going to wish my bed at 20 to 10. So
Oh,
thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for all the lovely comments. We're still in absolute awe of them. We're screenshotting them and sending them to each other on the daily. So thank you so much. Feel free to rate, review, or share us on your socials so that more people can find us, because we've had people find us through that and it's just been amazing. So thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Speak soon. Bye.
bye.